Hello, Dr. Mary Rensel coming to you from my walk, a nice fall day in Ohio. Okay, so something so upsetting happened lately that I was preparing for a talk and just looking up some burnout articles, and they've been talking about burnout in medicine since 1974. 1974, I was in grade school. Some of you weren't born that are in medicine now, right? You weren't even a twinkle in someone's eye yet. Burnout in medicine's been around a long time. So I'm a brain doc and a coach and a business owner, and I love, tapping into neuroscience tools to optimize life. I think there's things that we can take away from this, right? People have been burning out in medicine. I don't think we go to like emotion school, where our brain school, where we learn how to process emotions, because medicine is full of really some heavy emotions. I just had someone very close to me have someone code right in front of her at her job, and it was the first time that ever happened to her. She's a new worker in healthcare, and it was really hard. It was someone that she really cared about. She'd worked for 2 months with this person, so and she's not sure what happened because he got whisked off to the hospital. Our hearts break a lot in medicine. Our emotions are very strong because we care about the people we're working with. So I think in my opinion, we need emotion school. How do you deal with emotions? How do you know how to process your own emotions? How do you name them? How do you just acknowledge that they'll come and go throughout the day? And what do you do in a really hard time like that, as opposed to going to just hide your emotions with, overeating, over drinking, all the activity gambling. People will overdo things because they're trying to just kind of hide emotions. So there's a lot of things that need to be done in medicine. There's really amazing people working on it. It just seems to be a huge problem since it's been talked about since 1974. That's really frustrating. But, in my opinion, there's ways to deal with emotions. So, one of the ways is to learn about the culture of medicine and how to enhance a healthy culture, a positive building culture. So one of the ways is that you want to make sure that errors are okay. That you can say, I did something wrong, and who to tell, and repercussions are, obviously, just in line with what happened, but that people learn. So that the environment is very much a learning environment, and you celebrate successes. And failures will happen. I mean, we're human, right? So failures will happen, and there'll be associated emotions with that. But absolutely, we want to have a culture where you can say, I did something wrong, because that's super important, and you want to know. The other thing that helps to build a culture is to feel like you belong in the team. So how do you do that? Well, gotta get to know something about the team, talk with the team, bump into the team, get to know the team, something personal about them. Sometimes I just do favorite color, or something weird that you've eaten. When I have a quick team in the hospital with the residents, it just gets people talking. I learn something about them. I learn what might be important to them. It's just fun. It's just a break from hard work and tough conversations. That's one thing. You always have to remind them of the mission. What's the purpose of your team? If our purpose when I'm leading a team of residents is, for learning, growth, patient care, research, all of those things, we want to make sure that we all know the team that we're on, what the purpose is. And keep reminding folks, because sometimes we forget, we get busy, and we're not sure what the whole point is, right? So you want to make sure everyone's really in tune to what the mission and the point of it is, what the team is. So the other thing is just remember to celebrate. So when there are wins, the team did something great, make sure you celebrate, because it feels good. It brings the team together. So these are some ways to incite a cohesive culture. Get to know people on your team. Make sure it's okay to fail, that they can use their honesty if something happened. Make sure we know how to emotionally process. You discuss emotions. When you're dealing with something tough in the team, you discuss it as a team so they can model, some emotional sharing if they feel comfortable doing so, or at least modeling for them how to do it. And then the wins, celebrate the wins. So culture really matters. There's so many amazing people working on this. It's it's a big challenge in medicine. It has been since at least the 70s, so humans, we're tricky. We need to be able to talk about our emotions, but in medicine, we keep them close to our heart because we want to stay professional. So we have to learn that balance. And I know there's amazing people working on this. But it's really important because emotional processing is really just a vital part of healthy living, as we don't want to turn to those other things, like overeating, over drinking, over exercising, over whatever, to avoid emotions, right? All right, everybody. So that's the end of the story hour with Dr. Rensel. Please subscribe on my YouTube channel. Know that medicine is a challenging place because we all have the mission to help others, but yet that involves a lot of emotions. So we need to go to emotion school. If you need help with that, certainly reach out to a professional. Okay, this is just for education and hopefully some entertainment. All right, everybody, stay well.